Hey guys, it's Namakia, and I have just hit 300 followers on my Instagram. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but it's a heck of a lot more than the number of subscribers I've got on YouTube, so for me, that's a big success. And to celebrate, I decided to host a Draw This in Your Style competition. And so here's the speed paint of me drawing my OC Oliver, who I'm not going to talk about much. I made a video on him once, I removed it. He's just a nice kid, and, I wanted to draw a, cute small child in a flower crown. And so here we are. However, because I had in mind of what I wanted it to look like, is I want him to be, looking up at his flower crown and holding on to it. The problem I quickly discovered with this is I don't know how to draw hands. There must have been about 20 attempts before the video that you're seeing now, where I would draw him, he'd look fine, then I tried to draw the hands, and it wouldn't work. Not only do hands not work, but as you can see here, arms are a little bit temperamental as well. So I decided to start off my piece by drawing the hands. As you saw, I sketched the hands out so that at least, I knew they were done. And if I, wouldn't have the problem of deciding I didn't like the hand and having to redo the entire drawing, and instead could just place the hands on the drawing, as you can see me doing here. Unfortunately, arms are also freakishly weird. You have no idea how much time I spent sat in front of a mirror doing this, trying to get the position of the arms right. I probably should have looked up for reference, and if you guys do end up drawing this in your style, I recommend doing so, because this is not a good description of anatomy here. Description? It's just don't take anatomy tips from me. I know nothing about it. But I got there in the end, and I think the positioning looks somewhat alright. The other thing I had a problem with was the mouth, obviously, but I struggle with mouths on every single character ever, pretty much. So just laugh at my attempts, and then the end result looked okay, I suspect. So yeah, that's that. And then, obviously, there was, line work and colour. This is where things get interesting. So, recently I entered a Draw This in Your Style competition by Esgrim. I don't know if that's how they pronounce their name, it's just an S and then it says Grim. Esgrim Draws or Esgrim Arts on Instagram. You'll find them if you search it up. And I've kind of figured, so how you're supposed to wait until, you're drawing something of your own, something that doesn't really matter, for you to experiment with new techniques. Yeah, for some reason I felt like trying to do the grayscaled colour style back then. And so I did, and it turned out alright, but it turned out a little bit too grey, like it looks a little bit muddy, and I think because of the composition of the piece and the way it was a girl with wings, but like blue macaw wings, so they were yellow on the underside, and because of that I think it makes it look like the wings shining through, and so I think the muted colours didn't look too disastrous on it. But I want to try that again, try and improve on this. And so, this is not the best, piece I have ever drawn, probably. I'm very proud of it, actually. But it's not the best piece I've ever drawn. And so, if you've just seen it on my Instagram, you won't be watching this video. But, if you've come from my Instagram here to look at how I did this, one thing I would recommend is go try something new with this, because you might as well. As I said before, I've hit 300 followers, not 300,000, not even 3,000. It's a very, very small Instagram, so, even if you win, I can't promise you're gonna, loads of people are gonna look at your account if you win my Draw This in Your Style. I'm not even sure if I want to do it with a set winner yet. I'll probably decide that by the time I actually post this. But try something new, because you might as well. And it's fun, and, I went through a phase, like, a little while back where no matter what I seemed to draw, I never seemed to be getting any better at it. And, all my drawings were starting to look kind of the same, and all my characters look the same. And I think one of the things you gotta do is you've just gotta branch out and try new things, because that's how we evolve. And I'm quite a lazy artist, but I've seen lots of other artists do the grayscaled colour thing before, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna give this a go, because what is the worst that can happen? The other thing I'd say is if you're drawing a flower crown, look up actual references of flowers instead of just drawing squiggles like I did. This is so many squiggles, and actually by the time I'm done with adding all the details to the hair and stuff, I honestly couldn't tell what was flower and what was hair, and so there may be some weird bits in this drawing if you look closely, where he appears to have blue hair, or he appears to have a brown flower on his head, or flower with brown petals, but oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. And if I hadn't told you that, you probably wouldn't have noticed. So I shouldn't have told you that, really, is what we're concluding here. Less honest would be a smart move. So yeah, I really hope some of you do decide to, join in the competition. I think it'd be really fun. And I've never really hosted any kind of competition that's got anybody in it before. I think I did one art competition maybe back a couple years ago, and I got 2 people enter or something. So, the score to beat here is 2. But yeah, please go for it. Good luck. I mean, obviously it's draw this in your start, so I can only give you so much advice because you'll draw the character however you want to. But there's a character sheet actually on my Instagram for this guy, if you scroll down far enough, but the colours don't match anymore. What else advice can I give? For anyone who is trying grayscale to colour for the first time, I do not know all the technicalities of it. I know that it makes your colours muddy. So I did the thing this time where I used the airbrush tool and just under the areas that were grayscale, I airbrushed. I also think I should have made more effort to try blend my shadows better in grayscale, because the whole point of doing it in grayscale is it saves you the effort of having to switch colours all the time. And so the idea is you should get you should make it look really good in grayscale before you put the colour on. I'm lazy, so mine's quite blocky in places. And if I did this again, I'd like to try and get better blended shadows and, deeper darks, lighter light. Well, I mean, it starts as white because, the less grey you put on something like this, the better. But I'd like to try do that better. So maybe give that a go. Also, for anyone who doesn't know how to do grayscale, I only found this out the other day. If you're trying to do it on Clip Studio, there's a button under, if you click on Edit, and then you click on Convert Brightness to Opacity, it will essentially make the white areas of your grayscale layer completely see-through, and the black areas completely not see-through, and everything else in between, the layer of opacity, will match the brightness. That's it suggests. And then if you colour underneath it, it's like having a faded grey on top, but it just automatically converts it so that the darkest is the least see-through. Hence why you get problems with too much grey. It's why I started with white as my base colour, because I wanted some of the actual colours to show through. The other thing with this piece is the colour palette. So this is a guy who wears a bright blue hoodie, which you've not seen yet, but you will see. So he wears a bright blue hoodie, and I wanted to give him a blue flower crown. Words. But I kind of felt like it was a bit much, so I've gone for, it ended up being pale turquoise and purples and stuff in there. So feel free to mix around the colour palette a bit and, experiment and have fun, because having fun is part of the fun, and sometimes you get so fixated on what it should look like that you just miss out on other potential opportunities. And correcting the line work because it's a mess. But does that sort of make sense? Does any of what I said make sense? Maybe. I hope so. Either way, good luck. I'm probably gonna leave you here because I've clearly run out of things to say. I should really put a Q&A up on my Instagram, and then next time I do a speed paint that actually needs a voiceover, if I get bored near the back end, I can just look up questions and answer some of those. Comment down below if you think that's a good idea. If you haven't followed my Instagram yet, please go do so. It would be very much appreciated. And other than that, goodbye, good luck, have fun, draw stuff.